What's up, everybody? Welcome to the MashanddDrum Whiskey Room. It's Whiskey Wednesday night. What is going on? It's actually the beginning of a very, very big night. We have an amazing fundraiser happening right after we are done here tonight. What is going on? I got some whiskey drummer in my glass, and why not? I've been playing a lot of drums lately, so I feel like this is why not do that? We'll have a little whiskey drummer tonight. This is actually a honey cask finish whiskey drummer. These are from the fine folks over at Three Chord. Big shout out to Kelsey Dime for helping me grab this bottle. I feel like I'm a drummer. I need a whiskey drummer bottle, right? So let me say hi to folks in the chat tonight. Already a bunch of you coming in. Kenneth Rathburn is in the house pretty early. I think he was the first one I saw in the chat, along with William Wiley. Gary Franchi. Tim Gorgeous is here. Justin Jenkins. He's attempting an ECBP flight, so gotta be with you because you might fall on your ass like I did. Copper Bones in the house. Brett Marquette. Got to get that right every time. Brian Toner, Wesley Bolton, Copper Bones. D. Joan Hund is here. I'm sorry, DJ 100. Oh, DJ 100. I got it. I got you, man. Just Me is here. I hope this guy didn't eat spicy meatballs tonight. Mr. Sam and Buzzard's Roost deserve a fresh palate. I'm picturing meatballs, cheesy garlic bread, Italian butter cookies, or go up to cheesecake. Damn, dude. It's making me hungry. That's not what I had to eat. I had something way more boring than that, but I had a tuna steak and some peas and carrots. That was my healthy dinner tonight. Top dogs in the house. What's going on, man? Kenny Killingsworth, Rye Guy, John Krantz, Jeffrey Wack again is here, and look, he's in the chat. Gotta love Jeffrey Wack. Here we go. JG, Pop 'em, don't watch him in the house. What's going on, Troy? Guys, if you're not watching Pop 'em, don't watch him's blind tournament, you need to be tuning into that shit because it's amazing. Mr. Great Shot is here. Karen B. Ford, how you doing, Karen? The Average Drinker is here. Another great channel. Welcome in, guys. Nice to see you. Cool Running is here. Todd Ritter, C. Jackson, IC86. Black Bourbon Family. Raise your drinks up casually. What's going on? Ben Hernandez, True King of the Jungle's in the house. Whiskey Nose, another great channel, the Brew Baker Maker, and more people coming in. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it, guys. So tonight, I have a bunch of just fun bottles that I've recently acquired that I feel like, why not do some live reviews? We'll dive into it. Peter White, who's a good friend up in Canada, sent me a sample of the Mr. Sam tribute bottle, which is a Sazerac product in honor of it's kind of like a legacy bottle for Sam Bronfman, who was one of the kind of, I don't want to say founding father, but he was one of the key figures in Seagram's and what they did there, and the whole bottle is it kind of like started trickling out, I think, in about 2019. Some batches started showing up here and there, but I think it's gotten a little bit more steam as like people are finding out what it is, what it's about. It's actually not a bourbon, it's a whiskey because it's a blend, but we'll get into that when we get closer. Let's see here. Hey, Todd Korzinski, what's going on, man? Cheers all. DMC Kentucky, what's going on? Another good channel, guys, to check out. What's going on, buddy? Cool Runnings in the house. Brandon W. Just a bunch of people coming in here. So yeah, I figured why not get into it tonight a little bit. Get out your cannolis, get out all the fun things tonight. We're gonna sit down, relax, grab a cannoli and a dram because it's gonna be some fun tasting. Let's dive into the first one, guys. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Whiskey Drummer from Three Chord. Let me show you the bottle. Pretty little thing. There it is. There's a Whiskey Drummer on the front. I actually hope I look like that when I'm older. Have my little bowler hat, nice big mustache. I doubt it. I'll probably have a lot of hair coming out of my ears like most Italian men when they get like 70 years old. So this is the honey cask finish. Now I haven't had a honey cask finish. This is a 15-year-old bourbon, 15-year-old, 113.9 proof. This is obviously sourced. These come from this is a three chord release. It's sourced from what we I think we pretty much realized it's Jim Beam. So be interesting to see how that honey works with maybe that nuttiness from Beam. DC, I'm glad you're here because we're gonna have some fun with our friend Scotty Tuhati. We have an amazing new shirt that's going to be available for you guys, and any super chat tonight will get you in the running to win the a couple of free shirts tonight, maybe a sample or two as well. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So really appreciate it. Let me see here. Just catching up on the chat. Oh, and speaking of Jeffrey Wack, how could I forget? Yeah, Three Chord is Pat Benatar's husband. So Neil Giraldo started this company. He just loves whiskey. He was on the channel, did a interview with him a while back. So for those of you in the Match and Journey Whiskey Club, we just got our my Bull Run bottle just arrived today, which is starring Jeffrey Wack, the Wack Attack, starring Wack Morris, Saved by the Bull. I absolutely love this bottle. I love the sticker. It's still kind of cold from when it was delivered, so it needs to kind of simmer down a little bit, or I should say simmer up. And then we got our Westland single barrel cask strength. So all you patrons out there, hopefully you're starting to get these. This is the cream of the crop with a screw top. I have a little bit of that was thanks to the Whiskey Crusaders for helping us pick this one, little Macho Man Randy Savage action. So this is a chocolatey, bold, just a beast. I'm definitely gonna try this before we sign off tonight, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait too long to try that one. But yeah, absolutely. Hey, Robot Scott's in the house. Let's see, Dara's here. Let's see, Jeffrey Wack. I see me. Let's see here. Mine arrived today. Okay, awesome, man. That's awesome. That's good to see. All right, so let's go into this honey cask and see if we could actually get any. Oh, Jesus. I just got a whole waft of honey on the nose. Oh, man, not so much there. Kind of when I just. Oh, here, it's like it's high in the glass. So if I put my nose towards the top of the glass, you get the honey. So it's there, which is, I mean, what you want. Now, we'll see if we get it on the palate or not, but. Yeah, wow. You definitely get a distinct Winnie the Pooh note going on this. Let's see here. Hey, we have our new subscriber. Love the content. Thank you so much, Vaughn. Thanks for subscribing. Hope you're enjoying the content. Like you said, gonna keep it going. Let's see here. Hey, what's going on, Mitchell? Thank you so much. Cheers. Hey, the Bourbon Wrench is in the house. I get honey on Chattanooga 111. Oh, Chattanooga 111 has a ton of honey because it uses that. They have that roasted honey malt. So totally. Austino says, I got my Westland yesterday in California. It's delightful. Oh, nice. Well played, sir. Sun Evening Scotch says he's currently sipping Rarebird's Westland and definitely getting into the M&J bottle during the stream as well. Keep us posted, Sunday Evening Scotch. JG, let's see. Let's get this party started. 877 MASH now. Yeah, let's see what we got. Yeah, you definitely get the honey, but I could smell the beam a little bit too. It's like honey roasted peanuts, honestly. I mean, I get that on some beam products, regardless if it's honey cask finished. I get, especially on like a Booker's, get like a nice like honey roasted peanut note on the sweeter ones. Hey, what's up? Donald Rant is in the house. The Whiskey Yoda is here. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Anybody watching? Anybody watching the Boba Fett, the Boba Fett series on Disney Plus? I hear a lot of mixed reviews about it. I haven't kind of dove into it yet. I watched the first episode, but I think it kind of takes a little bit to get really going. But I heard people are enjoying it. So yeah, the old Forester hat I got at the distillery when we were there to do the barrel pick. So it was pretty cool. Drink up, Greg Soul. Here we go. Cheers. Let's try this whiskey drummer. Here we go, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I dig that a lot. It's I really like that, actually. This has all the bean notes that you would expect, the roasted peanut, but it actually comes with a little bit of a darker chocolate flavor. But you get all that up front, but there's this layer of that honey sweetness. This is definitely one of the sweetest bean products I've ever had. Obviously, I would attribute that to the honey, I think. But man, it's sweet. And yeah, you keep going back to this. That honey is just coming out. Oh man, it's like Winnie the Pooh just freaking took a dump on my bottle. Just all honey. It's amazing. I like the Boba Fett series. It's unique for sure. Nice. Clemson football says, watch them all. I think he takes the helmet off too much, makes him less intimidating. I agree. I kind of like when he's just, masked and cloaked. And hey, Adam Dorman's in the house. What's going on, Adam? Nice to see you, man. C, then A, then B won my ACB B flight. Rich buttered caramel and C blew out competition. A had some red fruit, which don't usually get on A. Oh, nice. C, then A, then B. Was that all the 2021s? Because that probably would have been I think that was my order as well. Wait till you get past the shoulder on that bottle, even sweeter. Yeah, I would imagine that this just keeps getting sweeter with some airtime. But man, just as it's sitting here, the honey characteristic still keeps coming out. Now, this was about $200 for this bottle, the 3 chord. Most of as we saw with those Source 15-year bottles, there was a lot of price variation across the board. You had 120, 130, all the way up to 200 to 250, and even as high as what was the chicken cock one? I think they wanted 250 to 300 for that bottle. So there was a huge price variation here. The only reason why I pulled the trigger on this one, because I wanted to taste what a bean would be like with a honey finish. And this one's not disappointing. I'm a little scared it's going to get a little too sweet as it opens up, but kind of a nice smooth pour. I'm digging this one. But man, yeah, honey, just honey all day on this thing. But like fresh honey, not like fake. It's not like the honey malt that you would get from like the Chattanooga. This is like fresh honey that you would get like to put in tea. Yeah, and it's coming out more and more. Winnie the Pooh done peed in my bourbon. Shit. I'm actually going to keep sipping on that. That's pretty good. Hey, Timothy B. Hi from Cincinnati. I was just there over the past weekend in Cincy. It was my girlfriend's birthday weekend, so we went to Cincinnati, and we did we stayed at the Hotel Covington, which is kind of a bourbon-centric hotel, which was really cool. They had a great whiskey selection, which I was like, holy crap. So I got to try a pour of the Old Rip 10. I haven't had Old Rip 10 in a long time, and they were only charging like $23 for a pour of Old Rip 10. And obviously the Pappies and everything else they had were really kind of elevated in price. But I'm like, you know what? For $23, let me try the Old Rip 10 again. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I kind of posted the quick review on my story. And basically, I mean, I really liked it. I mean, the Old Rip 10, I think was a lot better than what I remembered. I mean, I know they do vary over, each and every year. I mean, just cherry, orange, cinnamon, spice, just a really nice sipping bourbon. Reminds me of a really good like Four Roses pick, actually. Maybe with a little bit less spice, because it is Buffalo Trace. But yeah, nice, easy finish. And I think I said, this is a great bottle. It's a great $60 to $70 bottle. And I think that's what it's worth. So I'm glad I got to try it again, because I would hell no would I pay more than retail for it. Yeah, the whole freaking city was just bangled out, man. Everybody was just ready for the game. I wish I was in town still for the game just to see everybody go nuts when they won. Going to the Super Bowl. There you go. Let's see. Mash and Drum, did you do any hunting in Cincy, North Kentucky? Any pickups? Well, actually, yeah. I got this when we were there. Got the Buzzard's Roost, which we'll talk about. We'll get into. Look how dark that thing is. Ooh, which we'll get into. This is 114.4, so it's a pretty hefty beast. We were lucky enough to get to Four Roses, and we got a Four Roses store pick. Well, Four Roses, gift shop pick, which I think was an OESQ. I think it was an OESQ. But man, the thing is 10 years old. It's a 10-year-old bourbon for like $75. I mean, it was really cool. So we grabbed that. What else did I get when we were there? Got to do the Heaven Hill Fill Your Bottle experience. Have any of you in the chat done that yet? The Fill Your Bottle experience? Yeah, I went to Party Source. They really didn't have shit. They didn't really have anything when I went. Nothing that I was looking for personally. I will say they had a shit ton of Four Gates. If anyone's looking for any bottles of Four Gate, Party Source has like every single one. Like the last like 7 or 8 bottles of releases from Four Gate they had. They also had the Barrel Seagrass in the glass case. They had a couple of other little bottles, but nothing that I was hunting for. Bunkering down with whiskey in Ohio for the snow, absolutely. Rams 27, Bengals 20. Cohen is calling it. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like when it comes down to the two quarterbacks, man, when you think about it, I just feel like Cincinnati, I just feel like they're in a zone right now. I think Joe is just the way he's slinging the ball, man. And then on the Rams side, I just feel like I saw a lot of mistakes in the game. Yeah, they still won the game, but I saw a good amount of mistakes against San Francisco. And let's face it, San Francisco did not play a super great game, but Joe Burrow is just kind of in the zone right now. So I think I might lean on him a little bit more than the Rams at this point. So I don't know. I'm going all in on the Bengals, man. I think they're gonna ride that carpet a little bit, all the way, the magic carpet ride, all the way to possible championship. But we'll see. Yep. I did the Fill Your Bottle when I was there in December. Great time. So when I was there, all they had was an ECBP. They had a Larceny Barrel Proof, and they had the Bernheim Barrel Proof. They didn't have the fourth option, which was like the Heaven Hill, the Heaven Hill bottle. And actually, the best out of the three was the Larceny Barrel Proof, which totally surprised me because I'm, generally not a fan of Larceny. I do not like how Heaven Hill treats their wheated mash bill. I kind of hate it. I think everybody historically, if you look back if you read enough books, you see back in the day or even up until now, most wheaters went in the barrel at a lower entry proof. Heaven Hill still goes in the barrel for wheaters at 125. And I think when your distillate is younger, when you're at 6-7 years old and you bottle it like we see with Larceny, really what you're doing is you're just relying on the proof to sell the bottle rather than the flavor, what it's capable of. I just don't think Heaven Hill is great with wheaters. The Bernheim wheat whiskey at barrel proof was fucking weird. I don't know if it's because we were coming off the Larceny and the Lodge Cake barrel proof. That did not taste right to me. It just tasted. It had like this funky. It tasted like I was just drinking straight up like wheat bread. There was some fruit and some sweetness there, a little bit of toffee, but other than that, I did not dig it at all. Now, obviously, it could have been the single cask they were using there. There might be some better ones, but the best one out of the lot was actually the Larceny. The ECBP was good, wasn't great. I feel like, I have plenty of ECBP. I don't need to get this. I want to get a better Larceny, so grab one of those. I think the game will be close and come down to the last few minutes. Yeah, I totally agree. Joe Burrow is definitely dressing like Vanilla Ice these days. Look at little Jeff Whack back down the sticker. Totally wanted that big ass phone when I was young. Yeah, little Jeffrey Whack just kind of watching everybody. The Rams have at least 3 Georgia Bulldogs, Leonard Alex, Sony Michel, and of course Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I just feel like Stafford's more prone to mistakes right now than Joe Burrow is. So I'm going with Joe Burrow over Stafford. Krista. It's weird at barrel proof. Oh my God. Any of you guys see the Washington Commanders? So the Washington Redskins named their team the Washington Commanders. I really thought there was like no thought put into their uniforms at all. They just, it's like they always try to make all these new uniforms look like the Oregon Ducks. You know, everything's one color. Everything's very kind of like sleek and kind of minimalist, just like different colorways. I don't really get the blacked out uniform with the kind of the gold numbers with the red trim. I'm not really crazy about that one. I do like the traditional colorway that they have, which was the the maroon. You know, the white one's kind of nice, but man, I really miss contrast in these uniforms. And there's just, as a designer, I just feel like, man, like, did you really? And Commanders, I don't know. I mean, they got, so Cleveland, they got rid of the Cleveland Indians, and now what are they? Cleveland Guardians. So now we have the Washington Redskins to the Washington Commanders. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's the Red Wolves would have been better. Well, God forbid you use the word red. I mean, geez. Yeah, Commanders was kind of dumb. I felt like they could have, if they really thought about it, they could have honored the Redskins without saying Redskins. They could have gone in another direction. I don't know. I just felt like there could have been a lot more thought into that. Yeah, the burgundy and gold were kind of nice. I did like that one. Bengals 34-30. Joe Burr is feeling it. I'm sticking with the Packers. I don't trust Stafford, but the Rams have a lot of star players that can cover his flaws. Listen, no one's a bigger fan of Odell Beckham than I. I mean, I love Odell. I mean, obviously, you guys know I'm a Falcon fan, but I did follow the Giants because I grew up in New York. And when Odell was on that team, I absolutely loved Odell. I think he's peaking at the right time with the Rams, like offensively. That could end up paying huge dividends in the game. We'll see. Yeah. Hey, Julie Likes in the house. How you doing, Julie? Nice to see you as always. Burgundy and go. Let's go Commanders. Hand slap. Yeah. All right. So let's go into a new fun segment while I'm sipping this before we get into a couple bottles here that I call What's to See on the TTB. So Michael Scott, peering, that's one of my favorite scenes in The Office when Michael is looking at Ryan. I thought that would have been a perfect image to show for What's to See at the TTB. So what I want to do is show you guys some labels that I've come across when it comes to the TTB. Some of the new releases we have coming out. I know we talk about new releases, but I kind of like to get even a little bit more ahead of it and talk about some fun releases that are coming out. So let's see here. So here we go. Let's go to the first label that we were kicking around here that I saw, and obviously not a ton of information is out about this already, guys. So these are just labels that are popping up for you guys to take a look at and see what's upcoming. Obviously, we'll probably get release dates as this stuff gets closer. First one, Heaven Door 10-year, the Decade Series, straight bourbon whiskey, 100 proof. This is another Heaven's Door release. I got to say, whatever you feel about Heaven's Door, they are pumping out a lot of different releases. You know, I got to give it to Dylan and the brand of Heaven's Door. They are serious about this whiskey thing. Whether you guys like it or not, I feel like Heaven's Door is here to stay. I kind of have an issue with calling it the Decades because we're going to have some real decades tonight here with the Wild Turkey. Just saying. Let's see here. What else? Oh yeah, Gold Spot. Oh yeah, Gold Spot. Yeah, actually, I should have threw that one up there. Next one up is Penelope. So the Penelope brand is releasing a new release called the Architect Series, and this is going to be their finish series. So I think they're going to have more than just the French oak, but the first release here that we're going to see from them is a French oak stave finished Penelope. So 104 proof. I'm actually really excited about that one. You guys know I love French oak finishes. I'm gonna have more Winnie the Pooh. Oh my, it's getting so honey in the glass. It's ridiculous. It's just straight up honey. Pure honey. I love Penelope. Let's see here. Nothing like country roads and snowdrifts. Hey, Whiskey Wars is in the house. What's going on? Hey, Dan Like is in the house. What's going on, Dan? Nice to see you and Julie. Been fine. I saw you guys hanging out with the Carters. That just looked epic. Very, very jelly of you guys. But I mean, if you're hanging out with the Carters, that's going to be an amazing time. And vice versa. If you're hanging out with Dan and Julie, I have yet to hang out with Dan and Julie, and I really got to hang out with them because I feel like we would have a really good time drinking and just bullshitting. Yeah, Penelope is doing really good things. Really like, hey, Trevor Kunkel's in the house, the farmer. What's going on, Trev? Hope you're, I don't know if you're, that's right. You wrapped up your season, so you're not on the tractor right now. Hope you're keeping warm up that. Bobby Oldham, what are you sipping? I'm sipping this 3 Chord Whiskey Drummer Honey Cask Finish. It's a 15-year bourbon. It's Jim Beam sourced with a honey finish on it. Let's see. Oh, Storytime is Stilling. What's going on? I did not see you. I am sorry, man. Storytime is in the house. What is going on? Guys, you can check out Storytime. They're doing some great picks. Nice to see you, man. I hope you're doing. Are you sipping Old Carter? You just heard me say Old Carter. You just popped in. I know you did. Hey, Sean Davidson just became a member of the Drumline. Thanks for coming in, man. Jason, what are your thoughts on the new release Kentucky Owl Ellie Irish Whiskey collab? 2 words: money grab. That's what it is. Money grab. Let's throw an Irish sticker during St. Paddy's Day. Everybody will grab it. And now, listen, if it's a good whiskey, it's a good whiskey. If it's a good bourbon, fine. But I don't know. That just screams. I mean, when you see that immediately, it's like gimmick. Just screams gimmick. It's kind of the same reaction you get when Buffalo Trace announces a new bottle. Like when they announced the Colonel Taylor Barrel Strength Rye that's going to be out this year. What was everyone's reaction immediately? Oh, that's great. I'll never see it, or I'm going to have to pay $8,000 to get one. When I see a label like that, it's just immediately you're like, well, that's gimmicky. Plus, I really don't like the direction that Kentucky Owl is going since Dixon Dedman left. So, but hey, if it's good whiskey, it's good whiskey. Prove me wrong. Let's see here. Story time, Whiskey Wars, just catching up here. Warming up a little Four Roses OESQ. Okay, so let's go to the next one. A lot of you guys had questions about this one a couple weeks ago, and that was the Next Blood Oat. So this is the pack number 8 that's going to be coming out. 98.6 proof, finished in Calvados casks. So interesting finish going on for that one. I was a little disappointed last year, I think, in the what was it? What was the finish last year? It wasn't Zinfandel. Sauternes. It was the Sauterne. I'm sorry, Sauterne. I think the S is silent, however the hell you pronounce it. But yeah, I was a little disappointed in that one. My favorite recent release is still the Cognac finish from 2 years ago. I'm not sure what the Calvados will bring, but we'll see. Next one up is the Knob Creek 18. So Knob Creek 18 is this label popped up, limited edition. Again, this is just a follow-up to the 15-year that we saw drop, the last couple years. So 18-year, I was not a fan of the 15-year. I know people got a lot of varying batches. The one I bought was terrible. It was probably the most drying. I don't have a problem with oak. I have a problem with like oak that dries you out. And the Knob Creek was so intensely oaky and drying. I didn't really get any of the sweetness that I wanted from it. Hopefully the 18 will be a little bit different. But I did get to try a couple of other folks' 15, and they were a lot better than mine were. So there was a lot of batch variation, I think, in those releases. This one coming to the forefront, Calumet 16-year-old. So this is just the next in the lineage here. We had a 14, a 15 last year, which I thought was a cherry bomb. Now we have the 16-year-old single rack black coming in at 106 proof, 19 barrel batch. I'm looking forward to trying that. Again, probably we're still looking at more Barton. That's just high aged and sourced. which I don't have a problem with because usually those are priced pretty fairly. Usually, I think the 14 and the 15 were right around the $130 mark, which is not bad. You know, considering this is a 15-year source whiskey for 200, you know, if you kind of have to, you know, do that math there a little bit. Also launching soon, I'm really excited about this one. Sagamore Spirit, the rum cask finish rye. I cannot wait to taste this. I think from what I'm hearing, they're bottling this right now, so it's going to get ready to drop pretty soon. 98 proof rum cask finish. I don't know how long the finish is. I don't really have the details quite yet, but I promise you I will soon. Obviously, a huge fan of Sagamore and what they're doing. Rum cask finish with that mash bill, the high rye and the low rye. Man, that could be something really good. And I have yet to really try a really, really good rum finished product. And I'm hoping that's that one kind of changes that. Aside from, you know, the stuff I've had with barrel, the barrel usually mixes it with other finishes. I'm talking about a singular rum finished product. So we'll see how that goes. Next up is the Old Forester, the 117 series. The next one is the Whiskey Row Fire. So July 2015, a 4-alarm fire ravaged through the buildings on historic Whiskey Row. Teams of brave Louisville first responders were able to contain and extinguish the catastrophe, preserving the site for the Old Forester Distillery at 117/119 West Main. This bottling is a blend of barrels which were filled on July 7th, 2015, the day the fire was put out. So 100 proof. Is that a little gimmicky? Yeah, maybe. I do like the story. I like the tie-in with firefighters. Growing up in New York and Queens, I had a lot of buddies that were firefighters. So if it kind of honors them in some way, I'm all about it. But obviously, you know, you have Jackie Zykin behind the helm, you know, blending that. That could be really good. I mean, my favorite still of that whole release series has been that Angel Share. That Angel Share was freaking delicious. I wish I got a full bottle of it, but did not come my way. All right, Dickel 17 cask strength. I think we talked about this a little bit. The George Dickel Tennessee Whiskey Reserve cask strength 17-year-old. Now it says 43% ABV there on the label, but it does say cask strength. So I feel like that 43 might just be there for position only. That's probably not going to be the true proof point of it. But again, an interesting. I mean, I love the high-aged George Dickel whiskeys, especially at cask strength. The lower end of the spectrum when it comes to proof, I feel like that's when it gets really mineral. I love it when it's a higher proof, especially a high age. I think that's when George Dickel really shines. Also, Chicken Cock is coming out. Speaking of a rum barrel rye, the Island Rooster, they are going all in on a rum barrel finish as well, just like Sagamore we talked about. I feel like the Sagamore will probably be a lot more affordable than the Chicken Cock one. Chicken Cock products tend to be a lot more expensive. And let's see, do we have another one here? I think that's it. Yeah, also what was brought up earlier was the Gold Spot. So the spot whiskeys, the Irish whiskeys everybody knows, green spot, blue spot, yellow spot, they're coming out with a limited Gold Spot release, which is it's a crazy blend of finishes. I think it's going to be 13-year-old. I think it's 13. Donald Rants can remind us in the chat exactly what the Donald. Let me know again remind me what the finishes were in that and the proof and the age. I think it was 13. So yeah, it goes. You know what? Let me see if I could find it for you guys. Gold Spot Irish whiskey. I could find it. I will throw it up on the screen here for you guys, and you guys can check it out. I mean, that is one. Oh, I just found it. Here it is, Gold Spot. All right, let me throw this on the screen for you guys real quick. You guys can check it out. Let's video. Oh, let me turn that off. Okay, where's that Gold Spot label? There it is. Open that. I'm gonna turn that off. All right. While that's uploading, let me catch in with the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Boo Dickel. Little gimmick isn't bad if the whiskey follows through. Yeah, exactly. Deathless Dogs. Actually, really cool channel. Check out Deathless Dogs, guys. Good dudes on that channel. 117 seems gimmicky, like the Tornado bottle, E.H. Taylor. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I trust Jackie Zykin a lot more than I would trust Kentucky Owl at this point. Jason, stop hunting for a finished whiskey and go for the straight quality sipping rum. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love rum. I love the high age rums. I'm a huge fan of Foursquare, some of the higher age pure cane sugar rums that are coming out. Let's see here. Yeah, guys, if you have not yet, please hit the like button while you're hanging out. We have over 300 people in the chat right now. Let's go to the gold spot. Let's check it out. I'm sorry, 9 years. I said 13, but it's 9. So gold spot, single pot still Irish whiskey, 9 years old, 135th anniversary, which is kind of a weird, I was talking about it with Donald. It's kind of a weird milestone. Like, why would you pick 135? So yeah, so this will be a limited release. This will not be joining the core range like the blue spot did, back to the core range. So the gold spot will be a limited release. I believe it's a, let me see where. Yeah, I love the spots too. I don't know what the price point is that's going to be. Yeah, 9-year-old cast strength. Yep. What we really want is an unobtainium spot. They won't ever release it, but it's the best one. Unobtainium spot. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I got this in Kentucky when we did when the Mash and Journey Club. We were really lucky. We got to do an Old Forester barrel proof pick. So got to do it with Jackie too, which was amazing. That 8-year Dicka almost got dumped. Then I use it for bourbon chicken. Oh, that's a good idea, David. Definitely. I like to use sometime like the whiskeys I don't like. I'll make like a bourbon cream sauce to put on steaks and put on like skirt steaks or filet mignon, stuff like that. Really easy to make. It's just, I mean, my quick recipe. You ready? Here we go. Just take some shallots. You take a lot of butter, a little bit of oil. You get that in the pan. You get that frying up. First, let me start over. Once you cook the steak, the filet mignon so I sear it on the stove, real quick, about a few minutes each side. Throw it in the oven. Finish in the oven to a nice medium rare. Take it out of the oven. Take the steak out to rest. Now all that goodness that's in there. What I do is I'll keep that in there. I add a little bit more olive oil in there, and then I throw in some shallots and let those cook down. Let them get nice and translucent. And then right at the very end, I throw in about maybe, I don't know, a couple of glugs of bourbon and let that cook off. It'll steam, it'll flame a little bit. Then once that cooks down for a couple minutes, I throw in some heavy cream, a little bit of nutmeg, some salt, some pepper, a little bit of red pepper to give it some spice. You let that probably reduce for maybe 5 minutes, and you pour that over a steak. Whoo! Forget it. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think the gold spot will be about 150 for sure. Yeah. All right. So let's get into our next bottle here. Speaking of Irish whiskey, speaking of gold spot, we're going to get into this one real quick. Start on the lower end of the proof scale before we get into some of the heavy hitters tonight here, guys. Redbreast. So Redbreast, they released, this is their new Pedro Jimenez edition. So this is, I think I pulled up the info here. Let me pull this up here before I want to make sure I get this. There we go. So this is the limited edition series in the Iberian series, the first limited release. This adds whiskeys finished in casks sourced from Spain, Portugal. It's let's see, triple distilled, matured in bourbon and Oloroso sherry casks before being recast in Pedro Jimenez hogsheads. 46% ABV. Price for this was about $110. All right, let's see how this goes. I'm expecting this to be pretty sweet. I'll throw this up here for the on the camera. You guys can take a nice closer look there. So that is the new Redbreast PX edition. Need to do a bourbon cooking video. Yeah, I've been thinking about that, but my kitchen just isn't really. I have to figure that out, how to do that. But I feel like I could do a whole video on how to make that sauce because it's glorious. Let's see here. It sounds awesome. On my way. Yeah. So yeah, Pedro Jimenez. What did I say? Did I say Jimenez? Jimenez? Let's just say PX. Call it that. All right. Wow, it's all candy on the nose. That PX influence is really coming through. Man, this is just like marmalade, like orange marmalade, raisins, a little bit of like cream soda. Whew, man, that is sweet. This is just all sweet. It's got a little bit of like that nuttiness too that you get with an Irish whiskey, a little bit like a, like a toasty type of bread. I love a good sauce, a saucy Shane, of course. Yeah, lots of sweet. Oh, you say like Jimenez. Jimenez. Oh man, getting strawberry in here. Man, I get like that nice pot still character, a little bit of spiciness too. So far in the nose, I'm digging it. Let's try it, guys. Cheers. Here we go. Ooh, that's dangerous. Oh man. Even on the palate, it's a lot creamier than I thought it would be. Especially at that, proof of 46% ABV. Yeah, it's got a nice creamy palate. It's very sweet. All that orange marmalade I was getting on the nose is coming through on the palate. The strawberries there. The I was afraid that the sweetness would overtake it, but you still get that nice pot still character. The buttery, the spicy, like little prickliness that you get on the very end of it. This Redbreast was about 110 bucks, Cohen. This might be sweeter than the Lustau. So if you guys are fans of Lustau, which I am, this might be even sweeter, at least at first glance here, first taste. I actually don't have any Lustau to compare this against. I finished my bottle. And, that's one of those bottles around Ohio I don't see again very often. So I see the Redbreast 12 is always around. I see the higher age ones, like to see the Redbreast 21 and the glass cases around, but can't say I've seen the Lustau around too much. I'll have to do a yeah, PX is way sweeter than Oloroso, which is the kind of the main ingredient for Lustau. So I think the PX finish on this made a huge impact. It is all orange marmalade, raisins, dates, sweet, 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 sweet. This is a fat kid's dream right here. Yeah, Lustau's good. Oh, wait till you try this. The Irishman 17 Cherry Cask. Hopefully we can get to that. Man. Well, Lustau is super sweet, delicious, but sweet. Yeah, this might be a little bit sweeter. There was no age statement on this, Big Vic, which is it's a non-age stated whiskey. I would guess the way Redbreast is kind of churning out their releases. And Donald Rants, if you happen to know the age of this, because Donald really kind of follows the Irish whiskey game, I would guess this is somewhere between 6 to 8 years old, maybe 9, maybe. But usually you get all these finishes, you could kind of cover up a little bit of the youthfulness character in it, because this is just all sweet. It's like drinking pure candy, orange marmalade, like I said. Did someone say fat kid on here? The 27 Redbreast is bunkers delicious. That's one of those bottles that I want to own that bottle, but I just don't like it for 500. If it was 400, I'd probably pull the trigger. But that extra $100 just kills my soul a little bit. Julie L is killing the mod game. What is she? Is she just? Oh my god. Oh yeah. Well, thank you, Julie, for bringing this up. Epic fundraiser tonight, guys. Over on Women of Whiskeys at 11 Eastern Standard Time. I'm actually going to share the. I did get the thumbnail from Women Whiskey. There it is. Chances to win. Look at bottles, merch, picks, and more. All the names that have been on that are on that list are people that donated either a bottle or a set of gifts or glasses or any of that stuff at for the fundraiser. So it's going to be an epic fundraiser tonight, guys. I have a bunch of stuff I threw in there. But look at the list. It's just incredible the amount of things that were. Now there is a bottle list as well. So Julie L or anyone else that's in the chat, if you have a bottle list, the link to it, please post it in the chat so they can check out exactly what's up for grabs. There's also some glasses that are going to be up for grabs. As I said, some prize packs. It's going to be an epic night. You go there right after this at 11 o'clock tonight. It's going to be a really epic night. So absolutely. Let's see here. I'd sooner provided by 20s than Boss Hog, just saying. Yeah, I can get that. I can see that. Been seeing Redbreast 20 cents for $4.30, $4.50 in Kentucky. I'll send you a note next time I see one for sale. Yeah, let me know, Dustin. I feel a little bit better at that price. Let's see here. I donated Dickel Tabasco, but she said no. Totally kidding. Oh shit. So speaking of DC, DC was we were on the chat yesterday watching. So if you guys don't know Scott from my Bourbon Journey, he's kind of Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. He's the other half of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. DC was asking in the chat, like, he would wish that Scott would grow his hair out. And he's like, I bet that he has like a big, beautiful, afro if it grew out. So DC, being the amazing man he is, he put something together. He put something together. I'm just gonna leave it there. And I decided to kind of turn it into a shirt. Maybe I did. if you guys, it's a very simple photo, but this was DC's vision of Scott in high school. So this is the Hawk in high school. Just leaving it out there. This is Scott's beautiful fro with his Hawk t-shirt. So yeah, that's his that's Scotty. So obviously you have the laser beam background because you have to have the laser beam background. So because I loved that photo so much, I decided to put it on a shirt. So if you go to the Mash and Drum shop, that shirt, you know what? There's nothing on the shirt. My logo's not even on the shirt. You know why? Because I just want people to buy that shirt and just wear it around and be like, what the fuck? Who is that? So there's a link below in the description of the video to go to the Spreadshirt shop for the Mash and Drum, and you could buy that shirt right now. I got it for guys, I got it for girls, and I also have a coffee mug with that photo on it. So if you guys want to have that mug staring at you 24/7, and DC, don't you dare buy a shirt. I'm going to buy one for you for making that. Yes. So, yes. Just straight out of the Wedding Singer. Absolutely. That guy loves Dungeons and Dragons. No way I'm on the way. It was the glorious Hawk. Yeah, it's the Hawk. Yep, there it is. New merch, the Mash and Drum. There's some other fun stuff in there, but if you look for the high school Hawk, you will see that shirt. So get all over it, guys. I'll give away a couple of those shirts tonight, just because I feel like it, because more people need to be wearing that shirt for sure. All right. So I'm a fan of the Redbreast PX. Is it a little bit sweet? Yes. I think a lot of people will like it, but I do wish it had more of the pot still character. I want more spice to balance out that sweet. Right now, I think because of the low proof, it's just all candy. Oh, it is just... It's like this combination of orange and strawberry preserves with raisin. Starting to get a little like hint of like milk chocolate too on that as well. Or maybe as it opens up, more of the flavors will come out. But at that proof, I want more of the spice to balance out. Man, if that had a little bit of a higher proof on it and a little bit more spice to go with that sweet, that could be a really magical bottle. I would say if you love sweets, you don't want a lot of spice on your whiskey, then you will absolutely love this. It's worth a hunt for $100. But if you like your pot still whiskey, Irish whiskies a little bit on the sweeter side, I'm sorry, a little bit on the spicier side, then you're going to want to skip that one. All right. Not sure. I've only had one bottle batch, but the toasted will also. Okay, I can feel you're enjoying it just watching you drink. Yeah, it's good. I do like it. And Troy, man, and now I have a new coffee mug. I can't wait for you to like take that coffee mug out for like the first time and just start using it. All right. So Mr. Sam here is 133.8. I'll save that a little bit later. Let's get into the Old Soul here. This is an interesting bottle. So Old Soul is from Cathead Distillery in Mississippi. It's actually the first legal distillery in Mississippi in the state, which is interesting. It was founded, I think, in around 2010. Got two buddies that were let me open this. That were blues fans, like not like the Blues, the hockey team, but blues as in the music. And I think that's what Cathead came after. I think Cathead is kind of like it's a kind of a cool slang term to use in the terms of blues. I forgot exactly what it meant, but I just feel like I think it's like if you're really into the blues, you could be called a Cathead. So this is in small batches. They make a vodka, they make a gin, they make a chicory liqueur, they make this bourbon whiskey, and they make a sparkling drink as well. So what's interesting about this is that it is sourced from MGP. It's another 21% rye offering. Is anyone else getting sick of the freaking 21% rye MGP shit that's just coming out constantly? I think I'm getting a little tired of it. As long as you do something different with it. What they did with it, though, with this one, is they distilled their own 21% high rye mash bill that's aged in Mississippi. Then it's blended together, and then that's what we have here. So there's some of their distillate and some of the MGP source distillate all in this bottle. Bottled at 90 proof. This is about, let me see here. It's also non-chill filtered. So we'll check it out. This is a bottle I'm probably going to do a full review on just to kind of take a deep dive into the distillery. Let's see here. Yeah, everyone thought hockey. Hey, Bourbon Battalion is here. What's going on, Bobby? Nice to see you, man. I'm raising my hand incredibly high right now, says Whiskey Wars. Getting tired of it. Been tired of it for a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's getting. Oh, we got more bots coming in here to take them out. Hey, William Davilar's here. What is going on, William? I hope Michelle is getting ready for the big fundraiser tonight. I'm looking forward to it. So, I'm not sure if I'm digging that one. So again, 75 corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. Aged in Mississippi, southern heat and humidity, which is supposed to give it a little bit more maturation, I guess, kind of like in terms of what it does to a Texas whiskey. The higher the heat level, you get a little bit more oak, a little bit more of a rapid aging type thing happening. So I think that's what they're counting on. So yeah, I like that 30+% rye MGP. Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of like it over 30 as well, but let's see what we get in here. Old Soul. I get youth on this. It smells young. It smells like a younger whiskey. Very grain forward. There's aspects of this that actually remind me of the 3-chamber rye from Leopold Brothers. It's very floral. I'm almost getting like lavender, A little bit of orange. Get a lot of rye. I mean, this is all rye bread, floral. Maybe a slight hint of apple, I think a little bit. Yeah, young soul. DC, nope, I'm out. Yeah, yeah, it's doughy. It's almost yeasty a little bit, which is not a great note, but let's see what the palate brings here, guys. Cheers. Better on the palate than I expected. Um, Sweet finish. I'm actually missing the rye spice though. I'm not really getting that 21% rye at all. I'm getting a lot of those floral characteristics. I'm getting a lot of that sourdough bread. Second sip was a little better. It's got kind of like a flat cream soda thing going on, but not as sweet as a regular cream soda. It's almost like cream soda light a little bit. Yeah, a lot of it's very grain forward. Very grain forward, very floral. You can kind of get the youth in this a little bit. I mean, I don't know what the proportions were, from MGP to their own distillate, but I feel like their own distillate, the youthful distillate, is taking over a little bit here. Again, 90 proof. It's about a $45, $50 bottle. I mean, I think it just needs some time. Their distillate just needs some time to get up there and age a little bit. It's not the one positive I'll give on this is that it's not like that off-putting bitter grain that I sometimes get. Like I still get it sometimes in New Riff store picks, because those are around the 4-year-old mark, and sometimes that has a really funky, bitter, almost like grandma's basement type of note to it. I'm not getting that in here, which is promising, but this is more along the lines of like floral grain, sourdough, a little bit of yeast, a little bit of the orange is there from the MGP. Good, not great. I'll do a full review of that. Maybe it'll change a little bit over time, but I'll do a full review of the Old Soul at some point here. But yeah, not a huge fan of that one. I kind of like my Honey Cask a little bit better. With all these young whiskeys out for relatively high prices, I'm wondering what they're going to charge when their juice hits 8 to 10 years old. I hope the market balances that out. Well, I mean, the pick might be better. If the pick's cast strength, it might kind of hide the youth a little bit, Wesley. So, just try it before you buy it if you can. That's all I would say. Hey, what's up? Marty is here. Four Roses single barrel from me too, says Larry Owens. MGP is winning with all these crazy releases. I mean, everyone. Blaine. I agree, but it's not so much them with winning the releases. It's just everybody that's sourcing from them, and because they don't have a lot of old distillate left, or they're saving the distillate for their own use in the Remus repeal releases or anything else that they have coming out. A lot of people are just kind of sourcing younger whiskey from them now. I could see why they're blending it with their own. But if you don't know the proportions, I think the Old Soul, the younger whiskey, is overtaking the MGP. Now, I don't know the age of the MGP that they're getting. Does say straight, so it's at least 2 years. That's good. Let's see here. Let's see. This Old Soul is a precise blend of whiskey, each with an identical high rye mash bill, aged for different amounts of time. Each barrel is reviewed by nose and palate the old-fashioned way and expertly blended from whiskeys distilled in Indiana and Mississippi. Is the perfect metaphor for our bourbon, one that is thoughtfully crafted with a nod to both tradition and the future. Listen, the first legal distillery in Mississippi, just keep doing it. but I just feel like their stuff needs to get up there in age. Yeah, the color is a little light, obviously too. It's not, yeah, it's light. So I don't know, just give it some time. That could end up being something really good. I like the young distillate so far that's in there. Like I said, there's no off-putting notes. It just tastes young. So, all right, let's get into I want to taste this again because I've missed this bottle. I've missed this bottle so much. This is the Master's Keep Decades, which I owned a bottle a long time ago, and I finished it a long time ago. And you used to just see these on the shelves, and now they're gone because Wild Turkey is now popular again. Wild Turkey is the cool kid in class now. But this is kind of one of those whiskeys where it's kind of gotten mixed reviews. Breaking Bourbon, and I'll say this, I love Breaking Bourbon. I go there a lot for just information and releases. I love their reviews, but generally my palate does not line up with those guys. So they kind of gave us a not so favorable review, unfortunately. This is, is this 1 or 2? This is, I don't even know how you tell. How do you tell on this if it's 1 or 2? I don't know. By the looks of it, it might be 1 because this is pretty beat up. It's pretty beat up from what I see here. All right, let's get this open. It's always a good day when you open a Master's Keep. Oh, yes. So this is a bottle that, I wasn't really doing videos when I got this bottle originally. I wasn't really thinking about this bottle too much, and I ended up getting one, and I freaking tore through it. It should be on the neck here. So this is batch number 2. Batch 2, it says. Got it. All right. So the story with this one is that this was seen as kind of a passing of the torch from Jimmy to Eddie a little bit when they crafted this one. Bourbon's aged 10 to 20 years blended in this one, but utilizing all of Wild Turkey's historical barrel entry proofs, which was pretty cool at the time. So you have the 107 barrel proof, which was pre-2004. You have the 110 entry proof, which was 2004 to 2006. And you have the 115 entry proof, which is started in 2006, and it's still going what they have today. So 115 entry proof into the barrel. So it's a blend of all that 10 to 20-year-old bourbon. So we have Jimmy's Classic 107 with Eddie's a little bit higher. 104 proof, non-chill filtered, all the goodness. Let's see. Yeah, Breaking Bourbon, I just, even some of the picks I've had from those guys, I just, I think we just have different palates. So, but, again, that's always a thing. We've talked about it. Just palates are different. Oh, yeah, this is all turkey on the nose. Brown sugar, toffee, all the really good, like, high-aged bourbon notes here. Oh, leather. Really nice sweet oak, too. Let me open that up. Definitely get some almond paste. Or marzipan, as they call it, I guess. A lot of cinnamon, too. This is just like what a good aged Wild Turkey smells like. So let's try it. I haven't had this in a long time, so I can't wait. Oh, turkey time. Turkey time it is. This is all vanilla, orange creamsicle, a ton of vanilla, man. This is an absolute vanilla bomb, at least from first pour, neck pour. Super sweet. God, cinnamon, nutmeg, just all day long. It's got those baking spices. Here we go. I like when big names in whiskey don't always love the ones I do. You have a better chance of finding it nowadays. That's true. Yeah, Turkey Time. What's your favorite Master's Keep? I recently bought the whole set. It's a good question. For a long time, the 17-year bottle and bond, I think, was up there, but it's close with the Revival. I really love the Revival, but now that I got this back, I might have to do like a full-on like Master's Keep blind and see what I like. But yeah, I mean, I love this one. I even have the one that's the Australian release. What was it, the 1863 or so, whatever it was? I have that one too. That's a really low proof on that one. So when it comes to like, I'm glad when people don't like bottles. I'm gonna, when reviewers don't like certain things, it makes it easier to find. Let me just do this a little bit. All right, let me just get into this a little bit. All right. I love getting comments on videos, and I love reading what people have to say, whether they agree with me, whether they disagree with me, and I get it. I love a good conversation, as long as you're not a dick about it. What I don't like is when people just full-on blame you for the disappearance of a bottle. And I get it. As a YouTuber, as people that watch, they have big followings, it can affect the trajectory of a bottle, whether it's available on the shelf or it's not available. I get that part of it, but I think, there's a collective, it's not just the reviewer. There's a collective appetite from whiskey and bourbon buyers that as soon as they hear something is good without tasting it, they run out and go get it. We are forming an opinion on what we think it is, but, just don't always jump to the conclusion that because we gave something a solid review. Like, I reviewed the Four Roses single barrel today. Four Roses single barrel, which is pretty easy to find. One of the comments I got on it was, thanks for the review. Now, just because of this review, this bottle is allocated and you can't find it anymore. I'm like, dude, I just released it. And nobody is lining up to buy Four Roses single barrel. If they were, it would be gone already. It would be gone already. So don't always jump to the conclusion that a reviewer, and that's not just me, that's anybody. That's Minnick, that's the Bourbon Junkies, that's whoever is reviewing anything. Just, we're giving you an opinion. And if you decide to run out and buy the extreme lot of every fucking bottle that we say is good, then that's on you. I mean, yeah, we could tell you it's good, but the fact that people line up for hours, did you guys see that people were lining up? Like, there was like 500 people deep trying to get Woodford double oaked the other day. I mean, this is the world we're living in. I should have said that Old Soul is the greatest thing since sliced bread. People will run out and see if people run out and get that thing. I'm just saying, I understand the frustration that if we say something's good, it gets harder to find. I get it. But you guys are watching, you want to know our opinion because you want to try to get that bottle. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship here. Don't always blame the reviewer just because you can't find a bottle. I think it's the market of what we're in today. It's crazy. This is what we're in. This is how it goes. People are lining up to get stupid shit. This is just what the bourbon market, people are lining up overnight to get fucking Blanton's and Eagle Rare. Like, enough already. I'm over it. It's fine. Look for some other bottles. Try some more stuff on the shelf. There's so much good there's so much good whiskey on the shelf that's available these days. I'm looking at my shelves. Most of these that I'm looking at over there, I think I could probably find if I look around. But I mean, geez. All right, rant over. Done. Okay. Had to get that off my chest. Thank you very much. It'd be pretty cool. I gotta work on that. Yeah, Four Roses single barrel is having leather and glass issues. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all your fault. I have a bottle of Seagrass on my shelf. I'll take the blame for that. That's fine. Yeah, the Minnick effect. No more McKenna. Yeah, McKenna is still feeling that from Minnick, I think. Yeah, double oak. There was like 500 people online trying to get Woodford double oaked. I'm still mad at you for the old Carter Bourbon Batch 5. I was only able to get Batch 6, and I'm so disappointed. That's the Dickel one. Listen, I'll take the heat for old Carter Batch 5. That's on me. I'll take the heat for that one. All right? I got it. I got you. Make a new channel that's entirely sarcastic, but don't tell people it is so you can draw attention to trash bottles. It's a good idea. Reviewers have been praising Rare Breed for years, and that's still easy to get for now. I mean, we're seeing, so in Ohio, I don't know what you guys, let me know in the chat, whatever state you're in, Ohio just raised the prices on a bunch of bottles, including Russell Reserve Single Barrel and Rare Breed. Rare Breed is going from about 45, they're raising it $5 to $50, and Russell Reserve Single Barrel, I think, is going up to close to $60 now. So I don't know if this is just an Ohio thing or we're going to start seeing this across the board, but either way, I think we're going to see more price increases for whiskeys as we, get further into the year, unfortunately. Yeah. I got 4 rows of Single Barrel right now. I love seeing a review, which validated my choice. Yeah, totally. Can't even find a loaf of bread here in Northwest Ohio now. Blizzard of 22. Yeah, all the pasta is gone here. Everyone's like, I'm like, guys, it's like fucking 6 inches of snow. Grow up. It's not going to be that bad. Leave the pasta on the shelf. It'll be fine. 4 rows of Single Barrel was $34 Costco this weekend, and Woodford double oaked on sale. Yeah, I mean, shit. That's awesome. I love Jeff the Creed. It's good. Everyone go line up and get that shit. I could care less, honestly, for most of the bottles whiskey tea reviews. Watch for entertainment because 90% of them I won't buy anyway. Well, there you go. See? Whose opinion? The jabroni? That's right. That's right, Daniel. I love feisty Jason. You can find bottles. You just have to be willing to look in 20 different stores to find something nowadays. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Let me buy up a bunch of that old soul before you say anything nice about it. Yeah, my shoulders were heavy. I had to get that off my shoulders. Yeah, Weller 107 I think is going to $70 now. The Mash and Drum, the Bourbon Pursuit guys, we're talking about prices going up. Yeah, I mean, across the board, we're going to be seeing price increases. And I think it's because of a bevy of reasons that's happening, whether it be glass shortage, whether it be supply chain issues, whether it be demand. I think all of that comes into play a little bit for price going up, glass shortages, all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. But all I know is that when Wild Turkey 101 goes over $30, that's when it will really hurt my soul. I'm just saying. Stop hyping Blanton's and Blue Run. Yeah, that'll fucking never happen. All right. Let's go into it's 10:14. That's awesome. Okay. We got 45 minutes until we get over to the big fundraiser tonight, and I'm just going to put this up right here just for a little bit. Everybody look at Scott. Again, the shirts are on sale down below. Just walk around with this photo on it, and people will be like, "What? Who the hell is that?" You don't have to say shit. I don't even think Scott knows I made that shirt. That's the best part. This is so beautifully balanced, this bourbon. It's everything that turkey offers all in one glass. Sweet, citrus, a little spice, baking spices, oak, a little bit of leather. It's just all in harmony, perfectly balanced. This would do really well, I think, in a blind. I think for me personally, that's really good. Woo! All right. So we're gonna go to let's see, we have about 45 minutes. Yeah, we got some time here. Let's go into now the Buzzard's Roost, and then we'll hit the Mr. Sam, and we'll get into the Mr. Sam next, right after this one. But I've been wanting to really try this one. I found this Buzzard's Roost bottle at Bardstown Bourbon Company when we were there. They had this on sale because this is blended at Bardstown Bourbon Company. So let's say here, Saturday Hawk Fever, that T-shirt. Yeah, you guys You guys just have to watch, just wear that t-shirt around. I just want to hear the reactions to it. I actually ordered one for myself. I'm just going to wear it at some point, just live on the I don't even know if Scott will probably know about it after this, but I'm definitely wearing that shirt on a review. You know that. I'm probably, half the comments aren't going to be about the whiskey. They're just going to be like, what the fuck shirt is that? Russell 13, better or worse than the decades? That's a good question. I think most people would probably prefer the 13 because of the higher proof, and you're going to get more of that punch of flavor. I think the decades might just pale in comparison to that a little bit, just because proof makes a big difference. Even though this is no slouch, I mean, you're looking at 104 proof. The Russell's is what, was it 117, 115? It's barrel proof. So, but I just feel like the Russell's has, you know what? I'll grab my Russell's. I'll do a little bit of a that's the Russ. That's that one. I'll do a little comparison. We'll get into that shit. I'll do it. Let me pour the Buzzard's Roost. And while that's opening up, I'll go get the Russell's 13. But look how dark this is. Look how dark that is. So really dark bourbon. Let me grab the Russell's 13. All right. Let's do a little comparison. We'll put that there. Let me grab the Russell's 13. We'll do a little quick compare here. It's a good question, actually. I think I did this comparison with David Jennings on the channel. I just can't remember exactly how that went. Hey, there he is, my bourbon journey. Did you see your new shirt, Scotty? Did you see it? Did you see it? Because if you haven't yet, this is on a shirt now. I already put it up in the store. There it is. You can own your own face on a t-shirt, Scotty. I already ordered one for myself. I can't wait. I'm going to wear it everywhere. Everywhere, dude. You're going to be famous. You're going to be famous. Brian Tone, just in case you have to hire a kid to shovel out your driveway. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, Brian. All right. So just off the cuff here, the decades is more confectionery, more sweet, more vanilla frosting, citrus. The Russell's 13, more oak and medicinal cherry on the Russell's 13. So those are the biggest differences on the nose. But the oak and the deep, rich brown sugars that are in this Russell 13. And there's also kind of like a leathery, like sweet pipe tobacco note that I'm getting in the decades as well. Now, as far as age goes, the Russell's 13, even though it has that 13-year age statement, remember, there's some pretty old whiskey in the Russell's 13. You have whiskey that's, I think, up to 17, 18, 19 years old. So it's got some old stuff in it. So we can, at age-wise, it can go right up against the decades here. So yeah, so the proof point, 114.8. Yeah, so just under 115. All right, so let's try the Russell's 13. Yeah, already in a blind, the Russell's 13 I think would impress more. It just has more punch to it. I mean, it just flavor, spice, way spicier on the palate than the decades. The decades is a little bit softer, a little bit more nuanced, and the finish on this thing still is going on for days. Yep. Master Drum, any advice on how to pick up flavor notes with the bourbon that you drink? If you want to get better at it, so I did a video how to get better nosing and tasting. Get more out of your bourbon with nosing and tasting. I would. The advice that I got is to kind of experience everything. It's kind of a cheesy way to say it, but experience everything like you're nosing and that you're eating and that you're smelling. If you get a steak, if you're in a house and there's flowers or candles, smell it, try to register it in your head, and try to get, because if your brain hasn't experienced any of those sensory experiences, if you haven't smelled a certain thing, you're not going to be able to really register it in the whiskey. So what I always tell people to do is, if you're not so much like, into like smelling and tasting and doing all the stuff with your food, get a nosing kit, get a tasting kit. I'm sorry, a bourbon nosing kit. Those are pretty easy. You can make your own. I think I mentioned that on the video as well, how to nose a little bit better your bourbon, how to get better at it, smelling cinnamon, smelling nutmeg, oak, vanilla bean, vanilla extract, all that stuff. If you don't have the time to do that, I would suggest take one brand of bourbon or one brand of whiskey, whatever it may be. So say for argument's sake, we're talking about Wild Turkey. Drink just Wild Turkey for like 2 to 3 weeks. Just drink Wild Turkey, nose it, smell it, use it, look up a flavor wheel online, look up like the vanillas, the oaks, just look up like different flavors, see if that's what you're smelling on Wild Turkey. Just go through, just drink that for 3 weeks. And then after 3 weeks is done, introduce like Jim Beam now to your flavor profile, and then start comparing them. And then you'll start seeing the major differences between the two distilleries. And then you could kind of run through all the brands, Heaven Hill, Four Roses, whatever it may be, to try to start picking up those nuances, in between the different bourbons. It's a little bit of a difference if you're just not into getting all the food and all that shit to try to get better at the flavors. There's ways to just kind of get better at trying to discern what distilleries that you're tasting. So that would be my advice. Hey, what's up, Mojo88 based in Bourbon? What's going on, man? Did I need another mug and shirt? No, but I did order that greatness anyway. Hell yes. Yeah, you did. ADHD whiskey in the house. What's going on, man? What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you. World's top whiskey taster in the house. Hope that helped you a little bit, J-Max. I would definitely, nose your bourbon. Yeah, nose your bourbon is great. I want the Hawk Ross t-shirt. Yep, go get it. Whiskey Nose, support the Hawk. Thanks so much. When you have a drink, pour an ounce of 2 whiskeys versus one. When you have a drink, pour an ounce of 2 whiskeys versus one and compare. Yeah, doing blind tastings is also just a great way to train your palate and your nose. You can kind of start discerning what you like and what you don't like. Let's see. Does Masters Keep Decades qualify as a dusty turkey? Does that have a similar problem to actually dusty, or is it different? I don't think it does. It doesn't have like that really, like that funky note that you get in older Wild Turkeys. That little bit of like a dusty, like butterscotch funk, as I like to call it. That's not really in the Decades. What you do have in the Decades, though, is you have like a nice, just a really sweet oak, like a perfect balance of oak leather, sweetness. But yeah, in a blind, I could see the 13 would just take it. There's just so much more flavor punch in the 13 for whatever. There's just so much more going on. And the finish on the 13 kills the Decades finish. The Decades finish is very nuanced and layered, but it goes away quickly. The finish on the 13 just goes on forever. So, all right. Well, that was a fun little comparison. All right. Buzzard's Roost time. Let me get some water. Water break. Everybody drink. All right. Let's see here. Would you recommend any particular nosing kit for whiskey? Yeah, there's one on Etsy. Let me see. I think bourbon nosing kit. Yeah, this one, the original bourbon nosing kit. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat here, guys. And you guys, if you're interested in a nosing kit, this is a great one. So I just dropped that in the chat. You guys can check that one out. I need that Napoleon Dynamite's daddy t-shirt. Yeah, so there's the link in the chat, guys, for the Etsy.com, the bourbon nosing kit. That's a great one to get. So I would highly recommend that one. All right, Buzzard's Roost. So this is founder and master blender Jason Bronner. I think that's how you say his name. He's started educating people about whiskey. He opened up Bourbon Bistro and then kind of pioneered a little bit. I don't know if exactly this is true. It's what it says on the website. He pioneered barrel picks for restaurants. Let's see here. What is the greatest shirt ever? Better than FO Train? Stanley Wagner. It's the Hawk shirt. It's the Hawk in high school shirt. You want that on the shirt. I know you do. And here it is. That's better than the FO Train shirt. So yeah. Where has the OGD 114 gone? I never see it. Yeah, I mean, OGD 114. I think that people are looking more at the shelfers now for good bourbons, because everything allocated is such a fucking pain in the ass to get these days. It sucks. It's so hard to get bottles that are hard to find now because it seems like every passing year, you're competing against thousands more people to try to get these bottles. So, like for me, it's all about barrel picks. It's all about getting something unique. Obviously, I have to chase bottles because I like to review. I have to review them, and it's a pain in the ass. I hate it because I'm competing with a lot of different people. I don't just get sent bottles as to much the belief of a lot of people. I do get samples, from some distilleries, which are great because that saves me from having, unless I really like the bottle or like the sample, and then I have to really try to get a bottle. It sucks. Like everyone always asks me, oh, why wasn't, so after I did my 2021 bourbons of the year, everyone asked me, why wasn't Old Forester birthday bourbon in your top 10? I never got a bottle. I didn't get I got a sample. I still have some left right here. This is what's left of my Old Forester birthday bourbon. That's all I got was that little sample bottle from Old Forester. And while I appreciate getting this, I actually really liked last year's birthday bourbon. I thought it was probably one of the better ones they've put out in the last few years. But this is an Ohio lottery item, and on top of that, I just don't have the time to go down to Louisville and wait online for thousands of hours to get a bottle. And then I have my stores in New York that I have connections with. They're not even getting birthday bourbon anymore because the allocations have gotten so crazy. So I don't know when I'll ever see a bottle of birthday bourbon again. But as long as I get samples to do reviews, then I'm happy with that. So, let's see. Master Wesley Bolton. The local store picks have been amazing lately, especially here in Chattanooga. It makes the allocated chase seem less worth it. Yeah, dude, it's all about the picks. All right, so again, back to this. This is Barrel Selections, Jason Bronner, who opened up Bourbon Bistro. So this is an uncut, unfiltered barrel strength offering. This is 114.4 proof. It's sourced, again, more MGP. This is more MGP source stuff. But apparently it's a barrel blend, and it's blended at Bardstown Bourbon Company. So they blend this specifically for these releases. I've heard good things about it, so let's see what we get. And then after this, we're going to dive into the Mr. Sam. So I'm really excited. Now, it's actually not coming off like an MGP off the cuff here. I'm actually getting, again, just kind of like the Old Soul. I'm getting like a lot of floral and like sourdough bread on here, like rye bread. A little bit of orange. It's a little bit muted on the nose. I'm having trouble kind of pulling flavors out of this one. There's not a lot going on here. Let me just go straight to the palate, see what we get here. Oh, okay. Oh. That is just pure brown sugar in a glass. It's sweet. It's kind of missing well, no, it's there a little bit. I was expecting like the citrus, like all the orange that I normally get from an MGP, but I think whatever they did to blend it, it's kind of blended out, and now I'm getting more of the. I'm just getting a lot of brown sugar on this palette here. Do we need to buy all this first? Well, I actually got like a little bit of like a coffee bean note on the back end of that. This might need some time to open up because it's changing now for the better. In the beginning, I was a little bit nervous, but it's getting a little bit better. So this was $80, this bottle. I figured I was there. Why not try it? For Ohio folks, how do you like your Rebel Distillers? What barrel did you get? Oh yeah, so Scott and I we did a pick at Ezra and Rebel last week. And you know, we got I think we got two really good barrels. The great thing about the two picks we just did, the Rebel and the Ezra, both had so obviously this is still the source stuff from Heaven Hill. It's going to be transitioning pretty soon though to the MGP stuff, so be on the lookout for the label for that. I think by the end of the year, I think, Scott, right? They said you'll start seeing the different distillate going in, but they're pretty confident that they've matched the flavor profile. But normally you get a lot of like that sweet, like that nuttiness to it, you know, in both the Rebel and the Ezra. These two picks that we got had a lot of fruit characteristics to it, almost like it was like a finished bourbon or finished whiskey. It just had a really nice just fruit characteristic to it. We were really proud of it, really happy. They stood out, and both of them happened to be the highest proof of the lot. So we got to try 3 of each, of 3 Rebels and 3 Ezras. It was a cool experience. Always a great experience at Lux Row. So can't go wrong. Yeah, the Ezra and both the Ezra and the Rebel are both fantastic. So we cannot wait. They will be called Corn Angel and Wheat Angel. And Trevor Kunkel, who is a farmer, he is going to be all over that label. So that'll be a fun label to make. All right. So my take on this is the more I'm sipping it, I don't like the front of the palate, but I love the finish on it. The finish is where all the magic is happening. The sweetness, the brown sugar, the vanilla, everything, the spice is all happening on the back end. I'm not getting a lot on the front end. I'm getting youth on the front end. I'm getting grain. I'm getting rye bread. All the sweet, everything interesting about this bourbon happens in like the last third of the experience. We'll see how this opens up. I'll probably do a full review as this keeps getting opened up a little bit. But all the magic of this bourbon is on the finish of it. I just wish it had more on the front end of it a little bit. It's all brown sugar, it's sweet, but all the spice and the orange zest, all on the back end is what's really delicious. Just not enough on the front end for me. $80 bourbon for this. That one's hurting a little bit, but we'll see how that opens up. We'll see. All right. So don't worry, everybody watching. You don't have to run out and go stock up and buy fucking 5 cases of Buzzard's Roost. Everybody relax. All right. Yeah, that bottle will open up. Yeah, we'll see what happens there, Scotty. All right. So let's see here. What do we got? A couple of news stories before I'm going to get this Mr. Sam poured here, because I know a lot of people want to know how this one is. So big news out of Heaven Hill just today or the other day. Again, thank you to Peter White in the chat for sending this along. This is the Mr. Sam Tribute Whiskey 2019 release, 133.8 proof. Yes. So I want to kind of throw this up on the on the screen here. What do all these brands have in common? Well, Heaven Hill just acquired them. They acquired the company Samson and Surrey including its full portfolio of brands and facilities. It further extends the Heaven Hill portfolio with 6 high-growth brands in several of the industry's fastest-growing categories. So basically what you're looking at is a portfolio of premium brands growing at 60% per year, tracking 40 million in sales and present in more than 30 markets worldwide, including the acquisition of Tequila Ocho, Widow Jane American Whiskey, Few Spirits, Bren French Whiskey, Blue Coat Gin, and Mezcal Vago. So the combined talent, scale, resources of Heaven Hill will now help boost these brands. And this is just, more consolidation, I think, that we're seeing across the board in the whiskey industry. What does this do for Heaven Hill? Again, Heaven Hill, I think, getting up to that point, Sazerac owns just a bevy of brands, including this Mr. Sam, which we'll get into a little bit. But I think what's the smart part on Heaven Hills, as we said, all of those, whether you believe it or not, because everyone is so fixated on whiskey and bourbon and rye, all of those brands are high growth potential. Mezcal is a huge growth potential when it comes to American spirits. You have the obviously tequila seems to be getting bigger and bigger. I haven't seen more tequilas on a shelf than I've ever seen. It's insane what's happening. Widow Jane is in the mix. Widow Jane is making some really good blends, incredible whiskeys. The Vaults, the 15-year, had a lot of honors last year as well. Didn't get to try that one. It's it's an expensive bottle at about $250. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the first acquisition. I think there's going to be some more down the pipeline as we go further down. So big news out of Heaven Hill. One that I wanted to share with you guys I thought was hilarious. This is hilarious. This is the world's top most searched the world's 10 most searched bourbons. Now, this is in 2021, bourbon continued the rise of search for spirit. The search for the spirit for bourbon rose 17%. 2022 has started off strong for the industry as bourbon lovers still search for that elusive bottle. Now, this was the winesearcher.com database, which is a huge website which garners a ton of traffic throughout the year. So, this is in alphabetical order. This isn't 1 through 10, but I'll give you the top 10 in alphabetical order here. And I know what you guys are thinking. It's probably all Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace, number 1. If Pappy isn't one, Widow Jane is a blend. Yeah, Widow Jane is a blend. So here we go. Where's the list? Okay, here we go. This is in no particular order. Blanton's, the original single barrel. Eagle Rare 10. Four Roses limited edition small batch barrel strength. That was actually a surprise for me being in there. I didn't think that would have been searched as much as it was. I know it's probably my fault because it was my whiskey of the year. I get it. You don't have to get mad. George T. Stagg. Old Rip Van Winkle 10-year. We talked about the Old Rip 10. Pappy Van Winkle 15. Pappy Van Winkle 23. Stagg Jr., William LaRue Weller, and Weller 12. So out of 9 of the 10 spots are all Buffalo fucking Trace. All 9 of the 10 spots. And it oh my God, it just fucking makes me crazy. BT. So 9 of the 10 slots are Buffalo Trace. It just, oh my God, it just kills me. But I get it. Buffalo Trace has cornered the market in new bourbon drinkers and people getting into the hobby. It just, I don't know what it is that just anyone that gets into whiskey, wants to get into the bourbon game, are automatically somewhere in their psyche or program to chase after Buffalo Trace first. It's amazing. It really is. I really honestly, I think every single distillery bourbon marketer wants to be Buffalo Trace because this is what they've built. So it's really interesting, just crazy. It's wild that so many taters there is the only one distillery, Buffalo Trace. Yeah, I mean, out of all the distilleries, the amazing distilleries that we get to drink from, and not just Kentucky and smaller distilleries, but craft distilleries all around the country, Buffalo Trace is still the one that people are like, Pappy. And you know, I've seen this firsthand at Justin's House of Bourbon. When you go into the museum, when you walk in Justin's House of Bourbon, and all these amazing bottles are in the glass cases. I mean, they have a fucking Red Hook rye there. That's one of the most rare whiskeys that you'll ever find in the world, and nobody even looks at it. Why? Because every dumbass is staring at the Pappy bottle. What the hell, Pappy, the cigar? I mean, everybody's just like enamored with it. It's amazing. But I get it. It's, you know, Pappy and Buffalo Trace and what they've built. That's where everybody goes. I think we're kind of like whiskey enthusiasts. We're kind of in like that lower tier percentage of what everyone is really looking at and buying. And then you have Bulleit, who still maintain their top selling whiskey status of 2021, which is incredible because Bulleit is not really looked at like even myself and other whiskey tubers and reviewers. We don't really talk about Bulleit too much, but Bulleit is consistently the #1 whiskey sold around the world, along with Jack Daniels. So we care about the limited releases from Jack because we're the whiskey enthusiasts. This is what we care about. But when it comes to Old No. 7 worldwide, I mean, Jack, Bulleit, Maker's Mark, all those 3 brands are just always in the top tier of selling in the United States. It's incredible. It really is. I mean, you're sitting in front of 9 Buffalo Trace bottles. I mean, well, yeah, here, this is my Buffalo Trace like barrel, which is right there. But I mean, if you look, that's really most of the Buffalo Trace I have. I have a few bottles up there, but if you look at my shelf here to my left, I mean, there's no Buffalo Trace over there, and that's most of my collection. And for anyone, so, you know, Dustin in the chat, Top Shelf Whiskey, he's been in my whiskey room. Yeah, I have Buffalo Trace, but I have a lot more other shit than Buffalo Trace. Has literal line of Weller easily directly behind the shelf. Gosh, can't believe Buffalo Trace. Dude, do you know how old those bottles are? I haven't bought a bottle of E.H. Taylor, Weller. Well, I get Weller 107 from my mother because she loves Weller 107. But when I go to the stores, and these guys are getting, what is it about Eagle Red that most people love, but whiskey streamers sometimes are not crazy about? It's a 10-year, the age statement is great. It's 10 years old, but it's 90 proof. I think most of the guys that, the streamers, it's a lower proof. So it's good, but it doesn't really like punch home. I use Bulleit as a marinade. Yeah, I get it. What do you think of Colville Master Drum? Have you tried them out of Chicago? Yeah, I just haven't tried it. I was a big fan of their 4-grain, but I got to try more stuff from Colville. Let's see. You're also in Ohio, the land of Weller. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to be in Ohio where we do get, you know, we get weekly deliveries of Buffalo Trace stuff. I don't get it. I walk into my guy's store, and then what'd you get today? I got Weller, I got Colonel Taylor, I got a Colonel, I got regular Buffalo Trace. I don't buy it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I haven't bought a Buffalo Trace bottle in a long time. All this stuff is old. That Weller Full Proof I've had for like 2 years. The Weller Antique, God knows how long I've had that. That Weller Special Reserve, I've only ever really bought like 1 or 2 of those. That Weller 12 I've had for like fucking 4 years. I have a bottle of Elmer T. Lee that I got like 4 years ago. I haven't even found or sniffed a bottle of that since I got that. Most of those bottles could probably, get blended or whatever. I don't buy a lot of Buffalo Trace anymore. I'm sick of it. So, yeah. Love you, but the info also shows 15. Yeah, I know you listen. I know you guys are looking at this thing, but I've had these bottles forever. And yes, I was a Buffalo Trace guy in the beginning. I've admitted that. I've bought Buffalo Trace bottles when I was on the beginning of my journey. But I have not bought a bottle of any of this shit in so long. That straight rye I got like 2 years ago. The Colonel Taylors I got years ago because they were coming into Ohio when I was starting my bourbon buying binge. And I got lucky and I got those at retail for like $40. I haven't bought any of those bottles in the last year and a half, except for Weller 107 and except for Stag Jr. Those are the only 2 Buffalo Trace bottles that I have bought in the last couple of years. Everything else, Blanton's, all that shit, no, I don't want it. I'm just teasing out of jealousy. Yeah, I'm just saying. Rant initiated. No, it's not a rant. I'm just saying. It's just, a lot of these bottles are older. I have a bottle of Rock Hill Farms, but I got that like fucking 3 years ago, and I'm not even that crazy about it. Stag Jr. is probably the most consistent Buffalo Trace bottle that I buy because I do enjoy the barrel proof Stag Jr. Love it. They can be really good sometimes. That's probably the one that I will try to buy consistently. And also the Colonel Taylor barrel proof. If I could find that bottle and get it, that's another one that I'll buy consistently. I mean, aside from BTAC and all that shit. But aside from the regular offerings, Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, Rock Hill Farms, Elmer T. Lee, there's so much better whiskey that's available on the shelf for me any day of the week to chase those down, honestly. Yeah, EHT Barrel Proof is a hit. Love EH Taylor Barrel Proof. Stop bragging, Jason. All right. Yeah, it kind of sucks too because I really love Stag Jr. and trying to like find those just get harder and harder every year. All right, Mr. Sam, a Sazerac product, as we talk about Buffalo Trace. So the Sazerac has a lot of history, as you guys know. The Sazerac Coffee House, which became a major spirits distributor in Louisiana. They maintain a huge portfolio of whiskey. But Seagram's also had a big hand in that, you know, even going back to the 19th century a little bit, back in Waterloo, Ontario, which opened up. The assets were acquired. The Seagram's assets were acquired by Samuel Bronfman Distillers Corporation in 1928. And he kept that going all the way, even through Prohibition. He was able to keep Seagram's going and pump out release after release and keep the distillery profitable even through those times. So Mr. Sam is kind of the tribute to him. This is, as I said, the 2019 release, 133.8 proof. They have been subsequent releases. There was a release this year, last year. It's a very, very rare bottle to find. The 2019 release was only 1,200 bottles total. So they were kind of trickled out in 2019. And a lot of people were wondering, like, what the hell is this? What is Mr. Sam? Because it is a pricey bottle, and it is by Sazerac. So a lot of people were kind of wondering where it was from. I like your hat. Thank you, Carter. Let's see here. Now we got to find Stag No Jr. Oh, yeah. Stag Jr. is gone. Now it's just Stag, I guess. So let me fix the camera. Okay, there you go. So the blend, this blend is created by Sazerac's master blender, Drew Mayville, whose career included 22 years at Seagram's. He was the fourth and final master blender under the Seagram dynasty. He had an arsenal, apparently, of Sazerac's best American and Canadian whiskey stocks to blend this. Usual retail price on this is about $250, but we see that go up, you know, more and more each year because it's Sazerac. So let's try it. I have never had this whiskey ever before in my life. I've never tried Mr. Sam. Here we go. Again, this is not a bourbon. This is a blended whiskey. It's a blended whiskey, again, a mix of American and Canadian whiskeys all blended together. It's herbal and spicy off the bat. Ooh. Man, the nose already is pretty. It's pretty impressive. I'm getting ginger, a lot of black pepper spice. Yeah, allspice, peppercorns. It does have a nice sweetness to it, though, too. You get the caramels in here. A Drew Mayville special, if you will. Yes. This is actually giving me like a nice little, like a root beer note on it as well. Giving me a little bit of a root beer kick. I'm getting some nice oak presence in here too. Very, very, very sweet oak. Very Sazerac-y. Very sweet. Do you know of another Canadian whiskey blend? Maybe one that I could afford or find. Man, Canadian American blend. Oh, that's a good question. I have to think on that. I mean, man, it's not really a blend though. But the Alberta Premium Cask Strength, I mean, I know that's just strictly Canadian, but that's a delicious rye whiskey from Canada. That's really good. It's not many of those Canadian American blends. I think Barrel Craft Spirits has a couple of releases that uses Canadian and American. Um, I can tell you the next Bardstown Bourbon Company release, Discovery number 7, will be a blend of Canadian and American whiskey. So that's in the mix for that. That's one that you can kind of noodle on. Crown Royal. Oh yeah, Pendleton. Yeah, Pendleton. Well, yeah, that's Canadian. I'm loving the nose on this. Really nice blend of sweet and spice. Let's try it. Oh, 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 Peter White. Peter White, who sent this to me. You know what this has? It kind of disappeared quickly. But you know how we were talking about that dusty, funky note that you get with we were talking about like the old turkey stuff with that dusty note to it. This has like a little bit of a dusty funk to it, but it goes away quick and then it turns all sweet. Go for another sip of that. Ooh, holy shit, that's good. So you get like this dusty, funky whiskey note up front, like this kind of like this really like old, like rich oak note in the front end of this. Then it turns into all brown sugar, sweet. Then you get like a black coffee hit on this a little bit too. And then the spice just takes over, all spice, black pepper. It's creamy. The proof on this too, 133.8. I mean, you feel that proof, but the spice of it is really what is the most inviting to me. Um, it's not as like there's not like a lot of fruit forward. This is like a darker, richer experience here. You're not really getting like any bright fruit notes. You're getting a lot of spice, a lot of savory, and a lot of like dark, rich notes. The old oak, the dusty funk to it that it has a little bit of maple syrup too. I'm getting maple syrup now. That's what it was. Mr. Sam just jumped to 1,000 on secondary. So, I mean, I don't know if the other releases taste like this one, the newer releases, but this 2019 is right in my wheelhouse. This is a mix of like dusty, funky notes with sweets right in the mid palate, creamy, and then all this spice in the back end. That's fucking amazing. Oh my god, I want a bottle of this now. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, Peter White. Oh man, that sucks. Because I don't know, I'll never find this bottle. God, that is really good. You know what makes it for me? It's that old oak, that old funky oak note right in the beginning. But then the maple syrup, the brown sugar, right in the mid palate, and then all the sweet that takes over on the back end of that. That's fucking delicious. Now, again, I don't know if the 2020, the 2021 release tastes like that, but if it does, for $250, I'd buy that all day. It's that good. I love it. That's really good. Shit. In search of the rest of that sample. Yep, nope. I'm gonna drink this tonight. While I'm watching the fundraiser tonight, I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of the rest of this. Woo, that's good. It's impossible to find, but if anyone can, it's you. Yeah, this wouldn't be anything I think I could find unless I go. I really try hard not to go on secondary, and I go on secondary just to see what people are asking for prices for stuff. But that would be hard to. There's not a lot of these that are for sale because I just don't think a lot of people get their hands on these. But shit, if that's not good. Hot buttery rolls. So, Chris, didn't you just get one of these, Chris, for your birthday, for your B-day? Mr. Sam's actually 3,000 on secondary. Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. Oh, well, that made me just throw up a little bit in my mouth. So Chris, did you get do you have a 2020 release or 2021 release of this? I'm just curious which one you got. This is the 2019, and it's fucking glorious. Justin, Mr. Sam just made up the top 10 search. Jason, have you tried Wild Turkey 13 Father and Son? Isn't any good for such a low? I was a little disappointed in the Father and Son, just to be transparent with you. I did like the Rare Breed non-chill filtered. I didn't think it was a huge step up from the regular Rare Breed that we get here in the U.S., but it was good. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Father and Son. It's good. It's okay. But it's not going to win any blind tastings at 86 proof, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I might have. $3,000 for corn water is wild to me. Yeah, that's a lot. So, all right, so Chris got the 2021. Dude, I would love to compare that one with this one. Man, I'm wondering if it still has. Chris, have you dove into that yet? Because I'm just curious if it has like that funky, like that old school dusty whiskey note to it that I'm getting on this. That's crazy. I'm calling it bourbon corn water from now on. Yeah. Hey, Eugene Nassif is in the house. What's going on? Nice to see you, Eugene. Let's see here. So yeah, real quick, 1 minute to go here, guys. I was gonna give away a couple of those shirts, but I don't think anyone was keeping track of the super chats tonight. Audriana, I think, was busy. So let's see here. You know what? If you're interested in, if you guys are interested in this shirt right here with the high school hawk shirt, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com. I will take everybody that emails me. I'll throw them in a randomizer, and I'll give away 5 shirts. I'll give away 5 shirts to everybody watching tonight. If you haven't bought one already, or if you want to get in on one, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com. I will throw you guys in a randomizer, and I will give away 5 of those for you guys to wear. So again, this is what we're going to be getting over to real quick tonight, 11 p.m. Crazy chances to win bottles, merch, picks, more. An amazing fundraiser for child advocacy. All these names that you see here are all people that donated either a bottle or a glass or some kind of merchandise, a barrel pick. I have a couple of Mash and Journey picks in the mix as well. So head over there now. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream tonight. This was a lot of fun. Next week, I'm going to be having none other than Scott Bruno, one of the duo, half of the duo from the Scotch Test Dummies, going to be here live in studio. We're going to be talking some Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, drinking some American whiskey, drinking some sherry whiskeys, doing a little bit of everything with Scott live here in studio. So definitely tune in for that. That's one you're not going to want to miss. Let's see here. Pappy, you are also in Ohio, the land of Weller. I already read that. Let me go back to the end here. Oh. Salud. Cheers, Jason. Chat. Yes, everybody head on over to Women of Whiskeys. I will see you over there in the chat. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskeys and people you share with. Cheers. Thanks for listening to me rant a little tonight. And hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Good luck to any of you that donate. Hope you win something good. And cheers. See you next week right here. Take care, guys.